The XS650 Yamaha. I've been seeing some really nice full-on restorations and some really cool custom builds of these old bikes. I started with a couple of kind of junkyard parts bikes to make this one. The newest was a 1977. For all you 650 enthusiasts, I'm going to do a quick run through of this build. I'll start down here. I laced up a bigger aluminum rim to get a little more rubber on the back. Shout out to Buchanan spokes. These are progressive shocks. They function okay, but it might be my next upgrade. I bobbed the fender by rotating it forward. This rubber mount here used to mount somewhere back in here. The tail light and signal lights, I think they were a Dennis Kirk purchase. I fabricated a couple of pieces to combine the lights into one kind of solid fixture. Over here is a mud flap made from a piece of stair tread material. I did switch out that rear sprocket for a smaller sprocket, so if I get out on the highway I can keep my RPMs down a little bit. The side covers there are made from a black, heavy-duty black waste paper basket. I like to see as much of the frame as possible, so the curve of the basket kind of tucks into the frame there. The seat pan I fabricated from fiberglass, but it has a pretty substantial aluminum backbone that tucks into the frame in the front and has a pin that drops through the fender and is clipped from below. The gas tank is a 650 XS650 gas tank. I incorporated a filler cap and breather tube from a Yamaha XT500. I just like the look of it. I'm a musician, so of course the tuning fork emblem is still my favorite. I was coming out of the post office one day and trying to decide what color this bike was going to be. Into the parking lot came a Mini Cooper. The person got out and I pointed at their car and I said, "Do you happen to know the name of that color?" And the guy said, white. Anyway, I went to a automotive paint dealer and found out it's called pepper white. Goes quite nice with a satiny black. The tachometer, nifty little tachometer. I originally got it so that I could see where my spark advance was happening. Turns out it told me that my spark advance was coming in too soon, and so it needed new springs in the mechanism. Now it's just fine. Up here, I fabricated a piece to hold the signal lights and the headlight. The headlight is actually a running light for a larger motorcycle. One of the salvage bikes had this really nice fork brace. From it, I hung this aluminum fender. All my fabrication is from this heavy-duty aluminum that started out as a really old road sign, back when road sign aluminum was a full 3 millimeters thick. Up here I also laced up an bigger aluminum rim to get some more rubber on the front. I like to cruise around on loose gravel, and a big tire helps. That is the original brake disc. I drilled it out. Don't know if it made much functional difference, but I think it looks cool. Onto the motor. One of the motors kicked over and didn't feel too bad. That's the one I put on the workbench. As it turned out, all it really needed was to home the cylinders, seat the valves a little better, some new piston rings, and now it feels like a pretty fresh motor. One of the salvaged bikes had this 2-into-1 exhaust. I like it. It's pretty cool. I went with the original carburetors for a few years and then switched over to the Mikuni round slide. I've always been a fan of the Mikuni round slide carburetor. The motor is stock, but I did put in the XS Charge charging system, and now I never have to worry about the battery. It's always fully charged. I also put in their electronic ignition. Works just fine. Yeah, and that's just about it. Why don't we just see if this thing will crank over and start. All right, the XS650. I'm gonna get it shut off here. I want to give some shout outs. I'd like to give a little shout out to 650 Central, Mike's XS, TC Bros, Buchanan Spokes, Dennis Kirk. I'd like to give a very special shout out to my mentor when it comes to anything Yamaha or motorcycles in general. I haven't seen him in over 50 years, but this is a shout out to Jerry Shaney. All right, over and out.